Hey guys, alright, are you guys ready for the final and last part of my paranormal story time here? I think I might be making some more, but they're going to be off different things. This is just mainly in this one apartment, this one story, and the main key points of what happened. But if you guys liked it, please give me a thumbs up and let me know if you guys would like to know weird, like, creepy stories that I had, or just like weird story times in general. Definitely be appreciated, so thank you so much. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into the last part. And by the way, this is the video where I'm going to show pictures and stuff, so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about during the one part. So, alright, let's get into it. Alright, so we ended last time. Oh, there's my doggy. Hold on. We ended last time. Dog wanted to come up. So we ended last time with my boyfriend finally seeing the figure that I've been talking about. So, we're going past a few days. So it's been a few days, and there's been this new girl that I've been working with at my job. Mind you, I'm not telling anybody anything. The only people who know is a few of my friends that obviously experienced it, and my boyfriend. Other than that, I haven't told anybody about what happened. This is only like my third time working with this girl, and like I'm like the manager person, I guess, with the key holder. So like I was like training her and stuff, and she was a lot older than me. I'm gonna call her Clara. I think that's a pretty name. And we're working, and it was really strange. All of a sudden, this is weird, but dude, this happened. She's talking to me, and I'm trying to show her different things and stuff we gotta do and all that. And then she's like, she looks at me like dead square, and she said, "You shouldn't have used that Ouija board." And I'm thinking like, what? It was really weird, and I'm thinking like, what are you talking about? And she's like, shit, this might sound crazy, but, and then she told me how she was like clairvoyant, and like she knew things, and that's why she has to call out so much, and she has to like walk, and that's why she has to walk away so much. Well, then I'm getting attacked. But she told me that she felt things, would see spirits, and like she was clairvoyant, that's why she had to walk away, she needed air, and all that so much. I thought maybe she had like anxiety or something, but she was telling me all this, and she's like, I know you used the Ouija board. She's like, you know, and she started telling me all this like really weird stuff, and she told me how I was, she said she was like a witch, and it was like passed down through like generations and all that. And I really believe her from like the things that have happened. She told me that she was a witch, and it was passed down through generations, and then she told me how, like, she can't help but think about anything else, that when she worked with me, that like I was such a haunted person that I had these strings coming off of me. That's how she described it. I had a bunch of strings coming off of me with like a bunch of like spirits pretty much like being attached to me. And she told me like all she wanted to do was like cut the strings and fix it, like, because she's like, yo, she's like, that's all you see is all these spirits and like these negative like demons like around you. She's like, they're everywhere. And like we were talking, and like I'm thinking like, yo, like this is fucking nuts at first, but then when she really started to talk to me, I was like, yo, like she might be legit. So we finished up that shift. I ended up being like, mind you, again, I'm not telling her anything, you know, it's just all stuff that she said. I haven't told her anything. I let her, I'm like, here, come to my house. Now I know that sounds nuts, but yeah, I let her come to my house. Sorry, he's like really, I think he's getting scared. No, he's getting scared. I know it's scary. But oh, by the way, he's like 22 now. Looking good for 22. Yeah. He doesn't care. He's like, leave me be, mom. Alright, put him back. But I let her come to my house, and this girl blew my mind. She like suddenly had like this notepad. She always came with this big bag all the time, and I never knew. I just thought, you know, she just had a big bag. And she'd bring it to work with her too, and she just like came out, and then she had like this paper, and she was just writing stuff down and looking all over. This girl somehow was able to write. I know she was able to write about Tommy. She was able to write about Doris, the Z character, because I don't know what to call him really. All those people. Somehow she was writing down all this stuff. She was able to talk about family that we've lost, even friends that Jake lost, how they died, how they passed away, and this person says this. And mind you, like, this is going back a few years, and she didn't even have like one of those cool phones. We didn't have internet at her job or anything like that. She just had like one of those like cheapy like flippy phones and all that, so it's like I doubt she like looked it up and like somehow knew or anything. But it was really crazy, and she didn't ask for money or anything. She just came over, then she started talking about how she hated the computer room, and she knew exactly where we played Ouija board and like the weird stuff that happened. She named some of the spirits and stuff, and then she told me how the Z character pretended to be my mama, to lure me in to play, because it knew that like I was feeling low and it could feed off that energy, which I kind of really believe it, and that sucks. But you know, but when you think about it, the part that freaked me out the most was how would something you didn't know all that stuff. It makes you think like, are these like unknown like spiritual like beings watching you all the time and like really waiting for their opportunity to use it against you? I don't know, that's in my head like an off kind of thought, but that's what I always wonder. But yeah, she started telling me about all that, and she told me about creepy the computer room, and the weird guy is trying to like to scare us. He wants us to go, but not in the way that you think. She ended up telling me his full name was like Thomas Shea, who ends up actually, this is really creepy. I'm going to link this all together now, make it more sense. He's not a bad spirit, but he would be the one that sometimes that we would see, almost to like get us to scare us to leave and get out, because Z was bad and he wanted to like get me and like get somebody and hurt people. Doris, she was fine. The other person, they were fine. But Tommy ended up being my Uncle Tommy, and she was mad specific. It was like Thomas Shea. She told me how he died, and he did die that way. And I verified, because I didn't know anything about him really, not in a bad way, but my family just never really talked about him. He did commit suicide, which was awful. And ironically enough, it's really weird, but my boyfriend's old house where he used to live before we were together and we moved in together, but his house kind of, for the most part growing up, is where my Uncle Tommy used to be his house, which is really weird, and weird things used to really happen in my boyfriend's house, but that'll be a whole nother story time video. But it's like he really was always following, and he would try to do that to scare us, to get us to leave and to get out. And she was telling me all this stuff, and she was able to tell me how he died. Like, she told me dates. She was right on the dates. I know you could look it up, but you don't understand. If you actually try to look him up and all that, especially back then, they didn't put it up in newspapers or anything like that, or obituaries like that, especially because it was a suicide. You can't find it, so I don't know how she did it. She talked about some of my boyfriend's friends, just and people that I've lost, and she talked about weird experiences that I've had in my life, and then mind you that no one knows, okay, no one knows about, and she talked about, it blew my mind actually. I actually think she was like really legit, and she really was something. I really truly deep down believe that, and she did recommend us leaving. I just thought that was so amazing. It was like pretty mind-blowing. Between the Wicca store lady, like knowing ahead of time like what exactly the problem was, like here, give it, and then her, and she knew so much. I really think she was genuine. Sadly, she did leave. That's why she couldn't really work jobs. She said she sees too many spirits off people and like the strings, and there was just too much where she could feel it. She said she was really like empathic and all that. But she said she was really empathic and she could feel that, and it was just too much for her. So sadly, she did leave my job. I actually do still keep in touch with her on social media and all that. She's actually a really great person. So I do wish her all the best. I hope she doesn't mind that I brought her up in this story, but I did change her name and all that. So, but yeah, that was really, like, it was crazy. But now continuing off this, we had a bunch more experiencings of things being thrown, the thing going by the door, even though I still knew then that, well, I think she was right, that it was my Uncle Tommy trying to almost like scare us or just keep an eye on us, like, hey, is everything good? It still really scared me. And there was just still, like, it just felt so, like it was just killing everything. It was killing all happiness there. We continued to still have gas and electric problems there, and it became too much between it being so haunted and all the gas problems, and then they were doing the windows, and the windows were all broken. That's why I didn't touch the windows. That's how I knew they weren't weird breezes. You couldn't, because you go to open it, the window would freaking fall out. On the 3rd floor, nonetheless. That's a whole nother story. But, yeah, we did end up moving out, and we moved to our second apartment, which I will talk about probably some other time. But yeah, it was, when we moved out, I don't even like going by there again. And when we're on our way to work, because we walk, because our job is really close, it's like super close now, we walk there, and we go by and you can like see the apartment down the block, and it gives me the heaves every time. And I know it's not just us, because now we've been out of there for years and people keep leaving it saying it's mad haunted and nobody wants to rent it, but the people keep leaving it and they say that, and then they find us. Even I've had incidents where people come to my job and then double check, like, well, you lived there, right? And that's really haunted. So I'm not the only person. So it does make me feel like a lot better in that sense, but that place is messed up. Like, and just as an ending note, when we did look up on it, it was like in the 19s. It was like built, it was like one of those old brick buildings that have all the intricate artwork on the outside, or the woodwork and all that, and it does look nice, but the inside, no, it's crappy. It's all falling apart. But yeah, it was like our bordello back in the day, and there was a Doris that lived there. And as a heads up, to get to the story where you see the picture, shortly before we moved out, cleaning stuff up and all that, I'm at work. And my boyfriend, he would just kind of like randomly like go to the house. He did it a lot. We try to take pictures a lot of the apartment. But most of the time you just see a bunch of orbs, you know, maybe like a weird smear or shadow, something weird like that. But in this one, he ended up taking a picture, and he said he literally felt the feeling to get up from the computer room, which I don't know why. He loved being in the computer room, which used to freak me out. He came out and took a picture from in the front room, and you can actually see spirits sitting there. You can see a spirit sitting, you can see one standing, and you also see an evil face in the air. Alright, so we got cut off there for a second, but when he went to go take the picture, you can actually see 4 spirits in the picture. You can see a woman sitting, you can see a man standing like facing her, you see this awful horrendous face in the like air conditioner. You can like see it. It's and then in the next wicker like love seat, you can see another person sitting. I'm going to show the picture where it's normal, and then I'll show a sharpened version of it, and you guys can be the judge. But yeah, super creepy. I don't think orb pictures count as much, because that can just be specks or dust or whatnot. So that was like the most like proof evidence for me. That picture is, it haunts me to this day, but I keep it because it was so creepy. But yeah, I hope you guys like this kind of thing. Thanks for letting me do something different. If you guys like these kind of story times, let me know down below. I'd really appreciate it. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. But if you guys do like it, I do have like random story times to share. Like not just paranormal. I do have a few paranormal stories. There's other things in my life that I've had happen. So if you guys like that, let me know. I actually really like talking and sharing with you guys and showing you guys more than just the makeup and all that. But without further ado, I'm going to end this now, and I'm going to insert the pictures. And thank you guys so much. Alright, bye.